again, I feel like that's going to cost them greatly in this election. It is my opinion and my projection that they're going to lose this election. That's just how I feel about it, because when you see how she's performing out here, it's horrible. And it doesn't seem like she's really, I mean, I feel like she's out of her depth, really. And I just don't see a pathway to victory for them. Again, strange things have occurred in the past, so I'm not going to say that it's 100% guarantee she's going to lose this election, because there is a chance that she could win. I personally don't feel like they're going to win without any shenanigans going on, but again, you know, it is a possibility that she may win this election. I personally just don't see a pathway to victory for her because of how terrible she's doing in interviews and things like that, and how she's not really answering questions. She hasn't done a press conference. Like they haven't done any type of real town hall. That thing that she had with Oprah was not a town hall. They didn't have people in there really asking substantive questions to her. So again, they're just doing fluff with her to keep her safe so that people don't see how much of a train wreck she really is. But again, I want to get into this video really quickly because for me, it just kind of highlights how the Democrats don't understand how their neglect of the Black community, which again is one of their biggest voter blocks, how this is harming them in this election. And I think that in November, they're going to get a reality check. But anyway, I want to go ahead and roll the video because she's sitting down talking to two former NBA players. And one of the guys did actually ask her, they were asking her a whole bunch of softball questions in this interview because, again, like I said, the mainstream media's job right now is to throw her softball questions so she's not caught with her back up against the wall. Because for me personally, I feel like she will definitely crash out if she's in a situation where she has to go off strip and answer really tough questions. But again, this particular guy in the video, he did ask her a substantive question, and I want you guys to take a look at her response.
Touch on mental health.
Yes.
Mental health is big in the Black community, especially with Black men.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Black men out here who starting grassroots organizations to help their communities. I'll give you an example. A guy named Zeke, he's building chapters called New Era in all over Detroit, the Bay Area, Texas, everywhere. And then what they're doing is they're taking care of the communities.
Yeah.
Regardless of race, if somebody's being mistreated, if a store being mistreated, if somebody's being mistreated in that community, they're going to handle it hands-on.
Right?
19 keys and also Zeke. Is it anything that you're thinking about that can help these people that's building these grassroots that actually get stuff done on the ground?
Absolutely. I think, first of all, I think the mental health issue is probably one of the biggest public policy failures in our country. We have acted as though healthcare we've acted as though the body starts from the neck down.
Right.
Instead of understanding we need healthcare also from the neck up. And it has to be done in a way that gives people the dignity and the respect they deserve.
Right.
The most effective mental health care is often because it is peer-based, it is without judgment, and it understands. People have to be understood for, you know, who they are culturally, who they are in terms of their life experience, if you're really going to be able to get into their needs. I worked with a brother here in D.C., Kier, who actually has been doing a lot around modeling, in particular, and I had him come in a couple years ago, actually. We've been talking about how we focus in particular on our Black men and our young Black men, because we also have to take the stigma away. And so part of that is about reminding people, it's just like, you know, if you break your arm or you got a toothache, this is about healthcare. And
Very specific reason. Now, you all heard the question, how he asked her, well, he brought up how there are black men in the community that are, putting in the work and have created businesses and organizations to help out in the community. And does she have a plan to help those people out? Now, anybody with common sense knows exactly what this man meant, and I don't think that Kamala Harris is that dense that she doesn't understand that this man meant what tangible benefits can she give to these people to help them out with their grassroots businesses and organizations in the community. And again, she gave a bunch of word salads, because the whole point of when it comes to the black community, as I continue to say, as it relates to any politician really, but especially the Democrats, because the Democrats have kind of positioned themselves to be the party of black people. They haven't come out and said it, but you heard what Joe Biden said when he was running for president last time. If you don't vote for him, you're not black. So, they've positioned themselves to be the party of black people. So when you put yourself and position yourself to be the party of black people, then you can't feel any type of way when black people are asking you what your political party plans to provide for their communities. And again, I believe it was Nancy Pelosi who one of her emails got leaked, where she basically was telling, different people, never promise the black community anything directly. Don't make any direct promises to the black community. And if you go and look into the Moynihan report, you will see why they are taking that stance against the black community now. Because like I've said on the show before, back in the 1960s, black society, there was uprisings all across the country because there were a lot of political promises made to black society that politicians had absolutely no plans of seeing through. But when they failed through on their promises, uprisings occurred all across the country. So now the name of the game for these people is to not say anything directly that they will do to help uplift the black community. And as you saw in that video, Kamala Harris gave a bunch of word salads, and she knew what the question was, but she focused on mental health, which, yes, the question was about mental health. But when he asked her the question about if her administration has a plan to help these people, then of course he's talking about tangible benefits and how these people can get the resources that they need to, further their businesses and further what they're doing for the community. So for her to focus on something that doesn't involve giving money and tangibles to these things is the problem that I have with Kamala Harris, because again, she's trying to run as a black candidate, which everyone knows that her racial background is very sketchy and questionable. But again, I'm not putting that much focus into her race anymore because I feel like she's lying. That's just my personal opinion. But it doesn't really matter to me all that much if she's black or not. If she had tangible benefits for my community, it wouldn't matter to me what her race was. But again, a lot of people are down her back because she's positioning herself as the black candidate when this woman never talks about what she's going to do to help the black community. And no, she doesn't have to only help the black community because she's so-called black. But if you're going to feel like the black community needs to support you and you want to run on being a black candidate, you would think that you would have a plan in place for that particular group of people. But she already told us back in 2019 when she was running the first time, that she's not going to sit up here and say she's going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, she said it with her chest, that she wasn't going to focus on doing anything that is going to directly benefit black people. So again, she already told you what she's not going to do. So again, I personally feel like that is a dagger in their administration because You cannot position yourself as the Black People Party for all these decades, and we're here right now where the country is in financial ruins and people really do need the help, and you're still playing these same old benign neglect games. So again, I personally feel like, and based on things that I'm seeing too, I won't just say I personally feel like, because I'm seeing a lot of discourse online as well, where people, Black people in particular, are just saying they're going to abandon the Democratic Party this election cycle because the Democrat Party has been abandoning them. So again, you cannot expect that you can continue to give a group of people nothing for their votes, especially at a time like this where everybody is in some type of situation in this country. Now, of course, some people are doing better than others, but a large part of their voter base is struggling right now. And they're not saying anything about what they plan to do for that community. So I feel like it would be insane for that community to go out there and put support behind a party that has been really neglecting them for the past 6 decades. So again, I personally feel that the Democrats underestimated Black society this time around because, you know, they really had a reason to underestimate us, if we're going to be honest about it, because for so long we've just been showing up to vote, and we haven't applied any real pressure to the Democrats. And I feel like not showing up to vote for them or voting against them is how you show them that you will pull back support. And to be honest here, the Democrats need the Black vote, because the black people, for some reason, they have been voting Democrat as a voter bloc. We're talking about tens of millions of votes for a very long time, and I don't even under that part of it. I don't understand anyway. I don't understand why we for so long our community voted as a group for that one particular party. I mean, I just don't see how we thought that would be beneficial anyway, because we were giving all of our power, you know, the power that we have, I guess you could say, to utilize our vote. We were giving it to the Democrats for basically nothing. And we did it for a very long time. So, again, I could see why they felt like they could underestimate us this time around, but personally, it's not working this time around, and now they're scrambling. And I feel like Kamala Harris is extremely dense because she knows she needs the Black vote. Black men in particular are definitely not supporting her, and I don't blame them, because her criminal justice record is horrendous, and it was horrendous against Black men and Black people in general, but Black men in particular. So I don't blame them for not supporting her. You know, the things that you do throughout your life, they have a tendency to come back and bite you in the behind. So again, Black men withdrawing support from her, I feel is the right thing to do. I don't think that they owe her anything, and I don't feel that people should be trying to shame Black men into not voting, shame Black men for not voting for her, because Black men don't owe her anything. And like I said, her criminal justice record as it relates to Black men is terrible. So I personally feel like it would be insane for Black men to support her, honestly. So again, the Democrats have greatly underestimated Black people this time around, and it has bit them in the behind, because, especially with young Black voters, definitely. You know, you still have the civil rights generation for some reason who they want to hang on to the Democratic Party, and it's not really benefiting them either, and it hasn't benefited them for a very long time. But they're stuck with that party, so you do have the older generation that will probably be voting for them in significant numbers. But the younger generation, we're talking about Gen X, Gen Z, Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z, the Democrats are having a really hard time getting those 3 generations to support them, and rightfully so, because we are the generations that are going to inherit the bulk of the mess that the Democrats are trying to push out on the larger society. So again, they're struggling with young Black voters, as they should be, because again, you can't continue to neglect a group of people and then expect them to show up to support you. So I'm very happy to see what is going on right now with the Democratic Party. I feel like it's justice, and it's showing that, you know, we can get on code with each other as a black community and use our political power to withdraw support from political parties as well. So again, I don't see a pathway to victory for the Democrats this time around. And I feel like if they don't get it together and they don't start focusing on trying to bring some type of tangibles and resources to the groups of people who have supported them in very large numbers for several years, they're going to continue to have this problem. Again, like I said, the election is a month away, and I'm not telling anybody who to vote for, but I have plans to definitely withdraw my support from the Democrats because I've been speaking out against them for quite some time now. I personally feel like they owe the black community because the black community has been supporting them for a very long time. Biden sat up there when he got elected last time and said he would have the black community's back. That was a lie, and I don't think anybody believed it, but he fell through on that promise as to be expected. And again, the reason why this is such a big deal is because the black community has had the opportunity to see the Biden-Harris administration do things for other communities and do things for that particular community and have those resources be allocated specifically for that community. And the Asian community is a community that the Biden-Harris administration has given plenty of resources to. I had an article that I was going to read on it, but I'll just paraphrase the article because I read it a little bit earlier. The Biden-Harris administration has given billions of dollars to the Asian, Pacific Islanders, and Native American community. Those are specific communities, and they have been given money to help advance their communities. We're talking about tens of billions of dollars has been allocated and given to those communities. So when black people see this, they say to themselves, we've been told for so long that they can't give us any money to help improve our conditions. We shouldn't be asking for reparations and things like that because they can't give it to us. But when you see the way that the migrants have been papered up, when you see the way that they papered up the Asian community, the Native American community, and all these other specific groups of people, then you can't help but see that the plan is to not give you anything in the first place. So again, I definitely agree with withdrawing support from the Democrats. I hope more and more black people begin to wake up to the scam that has been run against our community for several generations and go out there and vote against blue no matter who. All right. We have reached the end of the show, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Again, if you are here for the first time, welcome, and I do hope that you return. I hope that you all did get something from the show tonight, because that is my aim, to make sure I leave you with something on every show, something to think about, of course. And hopefully you guys will be back here next week, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 2rawfortv.tv. And I'm hoping that I will see you guys at the Conscious Cipher this weekend. If you don't have your tickets, you can still get them. I would like to see you guys out there. I'm hoping to meet a lot of great people. And I'm hoping that it'll be just a great time this weekend. This will be my first time going. And I'm looking forward to the several great things that will be happening out there this Saturday and Sunday. So again, you can get your tickets right now. They are still available. It's a 2-day event, so you can get a 2-day pass. And we're hoping to see you out there both days. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I hope to see you next week, and have a wonderful night.